yeah, we can get really stuck into. I mean, we like to do really. That's when we're together. We just live in front of the TV set. We just want to be just really. That's what we need. Yeah, I mean, I like the movies. I like going to the movies and like watching football, soccer on Saturday. I get to watch more soccer in LA than I ever got to watch in the UK. There's so much of it on the TV. I can watch 6 games during the course of a weekend.
See, and that's how excited we get about football, the real football, American football. You know, you just brought up Hila. Talk about meeting her, because it was literally looking across the room and there was a spark there for you.
It was, definitely. And you see my foot went up and expressed that spark. Yeah, and I don't know if and neither of us were looking. But you know,
you were both coming out of complicated lives.
Yeah. In fact, you know, I was looking. I think when I first looked at her, my soon-to-be ex-wife was in the room as well, and
they were separated. We should say that.
Yeah, all about 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we really we've been very lucky. I mean, we connected right away. But you know, then she's got 2 kids. I've got a kid. So then that was the challenge. That was the challenge of that chapter, shall we say, and that was the blended family, the coming together of the blended family, and that's a challenge.
You know? Oh yeah. And she knew that, but you knew she was there for you when she went home with you and your dad.
Yeah, very much. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's how you. Yeah, I mean, I've tried to paint a picture of her. She also had no clue about music whatsoever.
That was funny.
She was so upset. She said she made me look so stupid. But I swear, backstage at Madison Square Gardens, she met Donnie Ienner, who was the head of Sony, and she said, "So you work with Rick Springfield then?" I was like, "You go, girl."
You just imagine meeting the Stepkids, Duran Duran, and the kids being like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
We've got a question from Levante.
Hi, I'm Levante. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised in Budapest.
Oh.
That's where I saw you guys first time, in 1986, 25 years ago. As a man, let me ask this. Are you surprised to still have the same effect on female fans like back then?
I don't know what effect I have. But you know, I'm lucky to have the connection, you know, that I have. And we try to stimulate those connections as best as we can. Right?
Yes, John, you are correct.
You're correct, John.
No doubt about it. Let's go ahead and finish up the last one with Joni.
Hi, Joni from North Carolina.
Right?
Of all your collaborations, who do you enjoy working with the most?
Well, I'd have to say that. You know, because I think at the end of the day, he's still the most challenging individual I know to work with. I don't know anybody that works harder than he does. I don't know anybody that is as driven, you know, a pure artistic searcher. You know, he's always looking to make stuff, you know, and to take it to the next level. So I would have to say my guys. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, that's, you know, we've been around the block. We've all tried other things. We've tried working with other artists. I've had some great experiences with other musicians and other writers. But I still really believe in my guys, and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. I think and also that sense of fitting right in, you know, that you're not really trying to be. You don't have to be anything other than who you are. I've worked with some fantastic drummers. But man, you know, but my style didn't really. I was really struggling to keep up, you know, or to fit in the way that I fit with Roger. It's just too perfect. So I come back to the Duran Duran members.
This is an Author Confidential with John Taylor, his book In the Pleasure Groove. You said a couple of minutes ago that the story, you didn't want to tell the story of Duran Duran in this book, but that story has not been told yet. Might you be telling that story sometime in the future?
Well, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I ended up telling a lot of it.
You did. You alluded to it.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's one of the reasons why Nick said, you know, he didn't want to read it, because he doesn't really want it to tread on his own, you know, experiences. Should he want to write a book one day? I don't know. I mean, I mean, the reunion was really, you know, that was a really interesting time. And, you know, you could probably get a whole book out of that, actually. Because it's not just because of Duran Duran, because it's something that, you know, that happens a lot. Many bands do, and I'm sure what we went through was no different. You know, you could write a book on, like, you could pick like half a dozen bands and do a piece on each of their reunions and see what was similar about them. Yeah, I mean, I probably did pick all the juicy bits, I have to say. But you know, the thing is that you got to put your personal spin on it, you know, and it's very much my viewpoint. Everybody else would have a different angle. I don't think that. I mean, I don't know about Nick, but I don't think Simon's got any inclination to write a memoir per se. Certainly not one about the band. I think if Simon wrote a book, it would either be fiction, or it would be a book of his lyrics, based around his lyrics. That was something he was talking about doing a couple of years ago. And I don't think Roger's going to do it either. Nick is probably more of a no, he's more of he's a film artist, you know, he likes to take pictures and he likes to make films. So that's probably going to be more of his. I'm a book lover, you know. I read all the time.
What are you reading right now?
What about
Not reading this
I'm rereading Norman Mailer's Harlot's Ghost because I'm on this spy thing, you know. And I also saw Argo over the weekend, some kind of like spy obsessed. It's unusually for me to actually reread a book, but I'm reading it on my iPad, so I'm trying to get that sense of what it's like because I'm not.
Are you more of a book holder?
I am. Yeah. So this is like, okay, let's see if I can pull this off. If I can stick
And this
this
will be
out.
offered on Monday. Your book.
It is, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We love it here on Book Radio. We love audio books. Maybe